Hello, my name is Joanne DePasquale-Parent. I'm Associate Director of Adult and Family Faith Formation for the Archdiocese of Newark for the Catechetical Office. And I'm here today with Luciano, who is the founder and CEO of the St. Pio Foundation. Welcome, Luciano.
Thank you for having me, John.
Yeah, we're very happy to have you here today. So, Luciano, can you tell us what these relics are that we see right here before us? And I have to say, it is such an honor to be in the presence of these relics, so thank you for bringing them here.
Well, today we are having, here specifically, we have two relics, which are two first-class relics. We have here a piece of cotton guards with St. Pio blood stain. Wow. It's an authentic first relic that we usually carry in this way. We do not put in a frame like this one, only because sometimes we have people who are sick and when they are in hospital, they would like to have a prayer session. So when we send the priest, it's easier to have this because the faithful or the person in need of healing can get close to their heart. And then we have here a lock of Padre Pio's hair. So according to canon law, there are two first-class relics. We own some of them are given to us in loan by the Franciscan Friar Capuchin, because we collaborate with them in a certain way. There are quite a few shrines about Padre Pio, but they all ask for the faithful to reach out to them, while the pinpoint of the St. Pio Foundation, if I can call that way, or the motto of the St. Pio Foundation, is do outreach. So we thought that we realized that the country of the United States of America is so big that not many can reach every time a shrine of Padre Pio. And I went to the fact that when Pope Francis in 2016, on the Holy Year of Mercy, he invited the body of Padre Pio for the first time moved from San Giovanni Rotondo to Rome, so that many people could reach him.
How far a distance is that?
It just was technically it's a 4-hour driving.
Oh, wow.
So it's just 300 miles, it's not much, but to move the body of a saint never happened. The body of Padre Pio never lived San Giovanni Rotondo in general. So the same way we had that kind of approach. Okay, then why we don't bring a spiritual sign to Padre Pio, knowing that a good percentage, I won't say 100%, but good 95% of those visiting the veneration of the relics, they never been or they never will go to the places where Padre Pio was born, lived, and died.
Wow. I have to say, Padre Pio, St. Pio, is one of the most popular saints, okay, that we know today. Why do you think that is? What do you attribute to his popularity?
The contemporaneity. I mean, he's contemporary saint. I always see on the fact of the icon, in St. Francis, St. Anthony, other saints, you have an icon where you can venerate, you can ask the possibility of being close. But in the case of Padre Pio, you have documentaries, you have pictures, you have witnesses, people who are alive, who can bring that message. And that creates a spark of not only curiosity in people in knowing more. I don't praise St. Francis St. Anthony only because I've heard about. No, here I have more information which are contemporary, vivid information. And if you just see even the documentaries, those who are available, you can see the depth of Padre Pio when he was celebrating Mass, how he was like a kind of embedded one soul only with Jesus, the Mass, the Church, and everything else. That's, of course, in conjunction with the fact that he was a saint with many virtues. People were attracted to the fact that he had performed countless miracles. And that means that people, in a certain way, had a great respect, or people were coming from all over the world just to have the opportunity to see Padre Pio and ask for that miracle. A little bit, like I said before, my story, I was going to Padre Pio, it was Padre Pio's body, so technically you can pray everywhere you want, but you tendentially try to go in the places from where the saints belong.
Sure.
So in that case, like Padre Pio happened, people were experiencing, wanted to have the opportunity of meeting Padre Pio for asking for miracles, so to know where their parents were. People, they were not returning from war, all kinds of things.
Yes, that's so beautiful. I had the blessing of meeting Mother Teresa when she was alive here in Newark. Right here, yes, it was incredible. And I was a young girl, I was maybe 8 years old. And all I remember was as we were getting closer and closer to meet her in line, it felt like you were getting closer and closer to the sun. There was a spiritual presence and a spiritual warmth that just filled the room. And that's why I think our relics are so important, because it kind of brings the saint to us. You know, obviously St. Pio is not alive anymore, but he's alive to us through the relics. So how do you get the relics? How did they come to you?
As I was saying before, we do own a few relics because we have received as a gift along the way as we're going from the Franciscans in Italy. But also there are a few other organizations here. For instance, we work very closely with the Padre Pio Shrine in New York.
Okay.
The Padre Pio Shrine in New York is the sign of inside the St. John the Baptist Church.
Okay.
They have owned the relics which were brought to them by Maria Pile was the closest friend of Padre Pio, which traveled she was an American. She traveled in the country with the purpose of creating throughout the year, practically, to give some tangible and sign. And she brought a few relics, and they created a shrine. And that's how, you have another case like where the shrine has relics, and we asked them to partner, in another word, to ask some of them relics to join ours and bring around to the country.
Okay, so they're kind of like on loan.
Yeah, practically,
okay.
they trust us.
Right.
It's not an easy process because there is insurance involved, and it's bringing the relics, moving the relics, assembling the relics. The reliquaries you see, for instance, these are made in Italy, in a special office in Rome. There's a few priests that have done that specifically, and they have known that, to do that. So I am amazed sometimes the way they in custom and they do these reliquaries. We want to create, reliquaries many times they are a little bit too shining.
Okay.
If you see the old reliquaries, in gold, and they're beautiful.
They are jewels.
But they are less practical when you have to transport them. And we want to follow Pope Francis' simplicity, having a sign of simplicity, having them all in wood, nicely all in wood, but all the same.
Oh, that's perfect. That's a perfect way. And the brown too, right? Reminds us
of course.
of St. Pio as well. That's beautiful. Great.